Hello everyone, I hope that you are well and keeping safe. My name is Pyatt and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video clip we're going to look at some extracts from a seminar that I did recently with Seishin Karate Club in Sheffield. Big thank you to them for hosting. In this particular clip we're going to look at in my introduction to Nige no Kata. Nige no Kata is the kata of escapes. It is a kata that I do in my dojo with my students. It's a kata of my own design, and it's a principle-based kata, which is something I explain in the video. So this video is just going to look literally at the first principle of the kata, which is to pass the guard from standing. And it's not going to primarily focus on that particularly. It's going to demonstrate that that is the first principle and show one or two really simple methods of doing that, but then focus more on the first position within the kata, which is Uki Gatame, which is more commonly known as knee on belly position. So we introduce that position and just how we initially progress through the kata, as we move through, and then what we'll do is look at a clip which is then showing later on the self-defense applications of how we would then deal with the subsequent position, which is the mount, and being attacked from the knee on belly position, Uki Gatame, just with simple punch attacks. As these come right at the start of the kata, as they're primarily two of the most probable self-defense scenarios that you would be encountered with if you had to apply groundwork outside of the dojo. So I hope you find the clip interesting and useful. Like I say, there's going to be about 4 different parts to it. Please feel free to ask any questions you've got in the comments below, and as always, we really look forward to hearing from you if you've got any comments you'd like to make. Without further ado, let's get into the clip. In Nige no Kata, okay, so Nige no Kata is the kata of escape, okay? It's a kata that I do at my dojo, it's my kata, but we use it as a framework from which to do a whole load of other things, okay? Now, just in terms of principles, if you look at the systematic approach to how you would use ground fighting from the top person's perspective, effectively you have to go through 4 phases that we've already kind of alluded to. I have to get him down to the ground, otherwise I can't do ground fighting. I then have to get past his legs. I then have to control him, okay, and get to a good position where I can control him. And then I get to the point where I can try and do a submission, okay? So if I'm starting from standing, which is how we're going to start this time, just as a principle, the first principle is I have to pass his legs somehow, okay? There are loads of ways of doing this, and I also want to stress, this kata isn't probably like the many kata you've done. This kata is not based at all on individual techniques, or where we're going to look at individual techniques. It's based on principles. So I want to stress the first principle is to pass his legs from standing. We will pass his legs from the ground later, but the first principle is to pass his legs from standing. Just to give you an idea, there are 7 ways I could do that. So I could come in, I could take a step back, and I could come to this position. I could have his feet, and I could just pass his legs. I could clamp into his legs, like from a standing position, come round, and there's loads of things I could do, right? I can just pass just by pushing his knees together, right? They all work. So the first principle is to pass legs from standing. What I want us to do, now simple, is I'm going to approach, I'm going to put my right foot just level with his sort of toes. I'm going to bring my hands and I'm initially just going to take control of his knees, okay? If his feet are up in a more defensive posture, it might be that I have to get those down first, okay? Always being conscious, that his most dangerous attack to me from here is a heel kick to the face. If he manages to pull it off, I will be down there somewhere, right? And he'll wake me up afterwards. So I've got to be conscious of this. Creating a good angle is always a good thing to do. But we're just in the basics, so I'm going to bring the feet down, take the knees, get a good grip, put my weight into my hands. That's going to make it harder for him to move my legs. I'm going to step my left foot out to the side as I pass his knees to one side. I'm going to bring my right foot round. I'm going to slide my knee along his belt line, and I'm going to go left out. Okay, so this is like the left out position we started with, but now I'm on my opponent, on top of my opponent. This position is commonly called knee on belly position, but in Japanese martial arts it's called Uki Gatame, okay, which literally means floating hold. Why is it called floating hold? Well, it's called floating hold because it's the one hold where my hips are above his hips, okay, my hips are physically above his, okay. So in this position, what we're initially going to do is just take a good grip of his arm and the back of his leg, and I'm just going to pull just to create a bit of tension, okay? As he starts to move around. I can obviously move here. Why is this position important? Well, for my posture, as much as I do sacrifice stability, this is a great position for me to start to be able to do all these things and use my knees to pass over his arms. So this is a place he really doesn't want me to be for very long, plus it's well uncomfortable for him, okay? But this is our starting point, we get to here. Then what I'm going to do, like we did before, is I'm going to bring my arms around, one around his head, one underneath this arm. I'm going to take my foot back, but I do not remove this leg. I'm going to keep that there, and then I'm going to slide over to the mat. Feet down, get the knees, weight into your hands, step and push across, bring the knee round, and left foot out. So don't have my foot out here, okay? I have no stability. If he just lifts his hips a little bit, I'm going to go flying forward. I want my foot parallel to his spine. So now he goes to bridge me, right? Much stronger in that direction, okay? From here, I've got, take that little foot back and slide over into the mat, okay? We're just going to do that same section of this, but now look at it from some of the issues around self-defense, okay? And just line your back position. Like I said, this kata is not a fixed kata, okay? Originally kata shouldn't really be that way anyway. It's very dynamic, it's based on principles. So at every point in this kata, when I teach the students initially, I teach it as a kata of just escapes. You have to be able to get from the beginning to the end and just escape every position. That's what we're going to look at. But then after that, you should be able to submit your opponent from every position. Okay? So if halfway through the kata I say submit, okay, you should be able to do it. If I say halfway through the kata submit with an arm bar, you should be able to do it. Okay? It shouldn't matter what the position is. So we're just going to look at, because this initial bit is two of the most likely self-defense scenarios we're going to get, right? Which, as I've already alluded to, is I've managed, it might be I've just chucked into the floor and I've just got on top of it and I'm just starting to do this. Or equally, I've got the next bit and I'm on top of it and I'm just starting to try and punch his lights out. Okay? So let's just look at that, okay? Not from a grappling sporting context, but from self-defense. So let's just start initially with the mount position and then we'll go back and do the knee on belly position. Okay, so now he's got over to the mount, right? And he has got posture this time and he's going to be starting to punch me. Okay, now I have one good advantage, right? I pretty much know with almost 90% certainty where he's likely to be trying to punch me. Spoiler, it's not my feet. Right, okay, right? So from that, that gives me one good advantage. Like I know ultimately what he's going to be trying to do. The best place for me to be is to be either on the inside but with his arms under some degree of control, but far better than that is to be on the outside with some degree of control. So that's what we're going to look for. So we're going to do matrix style first. So Nige goes to punch towards my head. This is what my body's trying to do. Okay, I want to get my shoulders out to this position, and I want you to have a pretty similar response no matter where we are. So the response is this: left, right, circle. Okay, all right. So left and then right circle in the opposite direction. So as he comes, he could do a straight punch or a hook punch. I'm one, and then right is going to circle, and I'm going to pull him down. I'm going to come through. I'm going to take hold of the back of the head. I'm going to trap. I'm going to bridge. I'm going to come up, and then here. I've got up now, but I've got control of his arm. I can then start to pass that through, and now I'm in a good position from a self-defense point of view to start to get up and to be in a position where I can either run off or I can pay back. Right, okay? So just in this position. So everyone just do this for me. So left hand weight, okay, and then right arm in the opposite direction. This is true, wax on, wax off. Okay? But the reason why you should do that is it doesn't matter what the attack is, I want that to be your response. One other thing. I don't know what arm Nige is going to punch me with. Statistically he's going to be right-handed, but I don't know if he's going to punch with his left. If he does punch with his left, it's still that hand. Okay? And then my right hand from here, that's all just encouraging him to come there. Okay? But if that left hand works and happy days, then I don't need to do the second bit. But I'm always going to drill to go 1, 2, okay? Because it's almost certainly going to be 2 punches if I don't get that good position on the first one. So he comes 1, 2, and I pull him forward, but remember I've moved my shoulders are at an angle, and this comes underneath the back of his head to stop him posturing, okay? Now, I do everything from the same as before. Foot in, trap the foot, trap the knee, bridge up and over, and then get to this position. Keep my body down for a second, bring my knee to the centre line, push his thigh flat to the floor, slide my knee through, okay? It's okay in this occasion for me to be on this side. 1, because I'm progressing on this side, but 2, I've got his arm. So now I can slide that other knee through, swivel. I can just put him to sleep here, or I can change and tap his throat. Okay, so doing that so you can see what I'm doing there. And then I can get up. And as I get up using this position as well. So how do I go from the ground and up? So we did this to go down, but the beauty is, if I'm getting up from a start, that's also the position I'm going to get up. So I'm not just getting up with poor posture. What I don't just want to do, for example, is this, because he'll just grab me, pull, and I'm back to square one. So I get that in. If he does grab me, I've still got control of his hips, okay? And then I can start to get up, and then start to get to a good position, okay? So left hand, right hand, pull in, hook, bridge, come over, pass the guard, get to the side, beat him up however you want at that stage, I don't mind, okay? Just try that first. So now I'm going to be punching from this position, okay? So if you can do that to me, Tom. Okay. Now, just when your opponent is in Uki Gatame, there's 3 basic things you can think about. So he puts his weight into his hands, good, passes, gets this position. A couple of you are doing this. Make sure this foot, okay, for this person's perspective to make it tight, this foot wants to be tight to this hip. So slide that in, okay, and get that knee, so that knee's on this hip, this foot's tight to this hip, and it's across parallel as a basic form across my hip line. And this foot have this straight because of your great stability. Right? So that's it, good. Right? And maintain, this person wants to maintain posture so that as I try and punch, I can't get Tom, so Tom postures and puts straighten his spine, straighten that way, that's it. But he can still get me. So that's sort of the issue. Right? So I have two ways of really dealing with this. I can go to a threat on his legs, or I can go to a threat on one of his arms, okay? So, if Tom throws his punch, because that's what we're doing, I'm still going to go with my initial left and then right, okay? This time, I'm not needing to circle it back over here. That's not going to help me. I've got my initial, I'm just going to use that right hand to trap. I'm going to bring my knee up to this arm. Then I'm going to push. And you can see Tom's head drops to the floor. As I come up, my body is going to keep this leg to here. Now I want to get this out of the way, so I'm going to put pressure on his knee. I'm going to pass and get to here, and then I'm going to slide back over the body. Okay? One more time. So Tom, starting from the beginning, has passed. He's improved this now because he's going to slide that leg all the way over. He's going to keep that leg straight. And initially we'll just deal with the right punch. It doesn't matter if it's the left, we'll do that in a minute. But his right punch is coming in. So I'm to here, I'm just going to cover that hand just temporarily and bring this up. So my knee comes up into his bicep, and I want to push and pull. Okay? Just be really strong for me, so Tom. Right, so that gives me tension. If this isn't enough to start to disbalance him, I'm then going to bridge. I'm going to push off my right foot, take his head that way, and come up to here. If I control the arm, great. If I lose it, it's not the end of the world. But his knee is going to be in the way here. So I want to initially just keep it there, okay? And then I'm going to take the knee. I'm just going to pass by pushing that through, and then I'm going to progress to whatever my favourite position happens to be. I hope you found that useful, and I hope that you found that there were some techniques in there that you can incorporate into your regular training. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to subscribe and to click the bell icon to enable alerts so that you can get our videos as soon as they are released. But we do have a lot of videos already, so please feel free to check out our channel and have a look at what is already there for you to hopefully help with your training. You can also subscribe by clicking the icon in the bottom right hand corner. You can check out more of our videos by clicking the links here. As always, please stay safe everyone, look after yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.